Oh, I gotta print out that doctor's note. I didn't forget to do that. Why is it not showing on the page? I have no idea why it's not doing what it's supposed to do. There it is. All right. Okay, let me just make sure. Can I hear myself? There it is. Yeah, I can. All right. Okay, let me just make sure. Can I hear myself? All right, let me turn it off then. All right, now that I know that I'm actually it's somebody. Hi, everybody. I know it's been a long time. Your girl has been busy. Life has been putting its foot in my butt. Okay. Y'all know how it is. Sometimes life just get hard, and it has gotten hard for me. I have one of my kids moved all the way to Texas. I'm stressed about that because I didn't want them to go, but they moved to Texas. One of my sons is all the way in Qatar because he's in the military. I'm worried about him like every day, making sure he's safe and comes home safe. And my other son, he's traveling too much all over the world, for my opinion, and I'm worried about him all the time. So it's just like, it's a lot going on. A couple of other daughters, they're having, it's a lot going on with all them kids, but I've been busy, y'all. I've been busy. Oh, and I'm going to tell y'all about my actual personal experience with this parent alienation thing, but I'm going to do that on another video because that's crazy too. Out of all my kids, one of them decided to do that to me. Out of control. Anyway, we're not here to talk about that today. I'm going to get to that another day. What I wanted to talk to you guys about was about basic investing for Black women, just to help us like get through this rough period of having this particular president in office, right? Because we all know that we haven't even gotten through the first year, and it is utterly ridiculous. And it's going to be a little bit crazier as time goes on. Hopefully, though, guys, I got to always put this plug out there. I really need you guys to take it serious when it comes to voting in the midterms. Okay, please take that serious. The midterms are going to be November of 2026. We need to vote these Republicans out of office. We need to stop fighting about conservatives versus Republicans, Democrats. We need to understand what's happening. If we want things to change where we can make our money again, not deal with conservatives and Republicans taking away our rights as women, taking away our jobs as Black women, we're going to have to vote these people completely out of office. And then we ourselves are going to have to get ourselves together and actually start running for office ourselves. Okay? There's a lot of stuff going on. We could talk about this stuff in depth going forward. I'm open to that now. And I want to show you a couple of things that I have been like trying to pick up speed on in my own life, because I had actually like set it to the side, not to say that I wasn't doing it, but I had it on like autopilot with auto pay. Now, the reason that I found a problem with the auto pay was because when I went back to my accounts this week and I was looking over things, because at the end of the year, of course, taxes, right? I saw that I was neglecting a lot of opportunities to increase the money I was trying to save and earn. Vita, hi, how are you? Vitor, are you a man or a woman? Why are you guys coming in here? Guys, let me tell y'all, this is not a man's live. I am a woman, right? So you guys can be in the comments. Basically, guys, I don't want you here. It's no disrespect. This is a woman's space. So I'd appreciate if you let that rock, okay? Hello to you as well, you know. But I can't with it, dudes. I really can't, okay? Sorry about that. But all right, hold on. So, I don't even, so then forget it. You can't even be nice to them, because right away they're coming in with the silly stuff and I'm just banning them straight up and down. I'm not even playing with that. This is YouTube. This is not TikTok. Okay. Over here, I don't play those games. I have way more control over maintaining my platform, and I don't allow that stupidity. Okay. So now let's get rid of that and let's start again. All right. Oh no, it doesn't let me get rid of it. Okay, so then we'll leave it and I'll do it the old way. All right. So here we go. As they roll in with the dumbness, y'all know me, they're going to get banned. It's that simple. So as I was looking over that money, y'all, I saw that things weren't as good as they could have been because I was not paying attention to take advantage. So the first thing I want to do is I want to explain to y'all that I have seen tons of videos this week alone about beginner investing. And that's not by coincidence. It's because we're going from the end of the year into the beginning of the year. So people want to start their year out right by making money. So the first thing I want to do is I want to explain to y'all basically how this works. And then I want to literally take you through the tabs so you can see it in real time, okay? And this is not going to be a thing where you listen to me and you're going to learn it automatically. That's not how this works. I'm actually still learning, and I've been doing this for a little while. And you will find once you get involved with it, it'll be the same for you, okay? So, the first thing you want to do, guys, is you want to get real familiar with the website NerdWallet, right? Because NerdWallet is going to be the most simplified and easy way to learn definitions when it comes to investing, to learn how to start your own watch list, what stocks or ETFs, whatever it is, mutual funds, whatever it is you're doing, what you're looking for, how to track them on this watch list so that you know what the value is. And you know me, I'm going to be very honest with you. The majority of the people that do these videos about basic investing, they're always showing people how to invest way over their heads. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to show you how you find the symbol, you find the stock, and you try to find the cheapest one you can until you get your money up enough to be able to buy a ETF that is part of the S&P 500, part of any of the others, and I'm going to go through them and show you when some of those stocks are like almost $1,000. And I know everyday people working hard, paying bills, paying for unexpected expenses, something breaks on your house, your car, something happens in your apartment, your co-op, your condo, duplex, townhouse, shit costs money. People don't have money to just be giving out hundreds and hundreds or thousands of dollars just because they got it like that, especially when you're not white, a male, and in America, or a white woman, because we all know that gender-based salary is a real thing. We know that women are paid discriminately less than men, and it is also a discrimination based off of race. So being a Black woman, you're making about 83 cents on the dollar when a white man and white woman are making either the white woman making 83 cents, the white man making the whole fucking dollar, okay? In comparison to other groups of people where their percentage on the dollar is also less than a dollar, or if they're Asian, it's going to be $1 as well. But you being a Black woman, you're not even going to get 90 cents on that dollar. And this is what we fight with all the time. So when we're talking about real life things, we want to make sure that we understand this going in, okay? And that's how we deal with life and things moving forward. So the first thing you want to do is you want to find out what you're doing. So I'm going to begin to share some screens here to show you where you can find this information. So when you get familiar, Chrome is requesting to bypass the private window. Yeah, okay. So when you get past the questions you may ask and the things you've seen on other people's lives, you want to begin to become familiar with this page right here, which is NerdWallet. Okay, I wanted to make sure I could see it too. Okay. So within NerdWallet, right? This is a website where this little query button over here, you're going to be able to find everything you want to know about anything concerning your money. All right. So as you can see from the banner across the top, you have basic information that everybody's interested in if you're a person that actually works and wants something out of life, right? You got your credit card information, banking, home, loans, insurance, personal finance, investing, small business, and taxes, right? So when you get on this website, the way it works is everything you want to find out, you literally hit the tab or you're going to scroll down to. And the reason I'm telling you that is because it's important. That is the way their website works. So when I was talking to you about ETFs and getting started with them, right here you see they give you a full guide to ETFs, right? Now, we won't go specifically into that, but you can always come to this website. At the end of the video, I'm going to link these websites for you so you can go click straight to them. What it's going to do on this full guide is going to talk to you about how they work, the benefits, the drawbacks, and the different types. Now, you can read all of that if you want to. Mostly when I come on here, I read about how they work and what the benefits are and what the different types are. The drawbacks, I only come back to if after I buy it and I look over the watch list a little bit, which I'm going to show you later, right? And if I haven't gotten any gain, I always give it like 2 weeks, because usually in 2 weeks you could get quite a bit of gain. Then I'll go back and I'll read through the drawbacks again, and then find out like, okay, what could be the problem here? And then sometimes I'll either get more, get rid of it, or just leave the shit sitting there, because you never know. Sometimes they're sleepers. All right. So you want to go on this guide so you can find out everything you need to know about the basics of stuff, right? And while I'm talking to you about this, I want you to understand that you do not have to be rich to do this. What you can do is do what I do. I use Google and I find everything I'm looking for within the price range I'm looking for, as well as what type of stock that I might be looking for. Okay. If today I'm looking for therapeutics and companies that do that, I will literally put that in the search bar and see what comes up, and then I'll decide what I want. If one day I'm looking for Black owned stocks only, specific, and you could break it down specifically, you could do it one day as Black owned stocks only, or you could look for Black owned stocks in engineering, hospital, whatever it is, whatever comes to your head. Let's say you're looking into what? Hospital supplies, possibly. You could do it that way. You could even put into Google, I want to find ETFs that are less than $25. I want to find ETFs that are $50 to $100 range. That's how you find them. Okay. You also want to keep in mind that when you're currently looking at the top 10 or the top 100 of the articles that NerdWallet is going to give you, right? They're going to be giving you the best performing, best benefit ETFs, mutual funds, stocks, or whatever it is that you're buying at the time that are going to be a lot of money. I'm not going to lie to you. The other day I saw a video of one of the ladies that I watch when I want to learn a couple of surface level things. And that is that lady Vivian, the BFF Vivian, the Asian woman. But what I've learned about her is that she only gives you like surface level information. She never goes into full explanation of what it is you're supposed to do. And that's the problem with a lot of the people on here. They give you 2 steps, but leave out the most important step. Okay. So if you follow what I'm saying, not only will you learn how to do this on your own and do it your own way and still get good results, you follow the different videos that they have on the different broker trading platforms that will give you tutoring in whatever it is you're looking for. So let me just get back to this because I'm slowing down in what I'm saying and not showing you as much. Okay, so you're going to go click on this for the full guide to find out about ETFs, everything about them, right? The thing you want to do next is you want to decide what type of brokerage account you want to open up. Now, me personally, I used to have Ameritrade. They actually merged into Charles Schwab. So that's what I have now. So as you can see here on the screen, it's telling you the best ETFs for December 2025. They also have 26 if you want to see that as well. You would just have to type that into the query when you come on to NerdWallet's website. So as they're showing you here, they're showing you the different companies, right? The thing you got to keep in mind, right, is that even though they're showing you these companies, I would not suggest any of these companies to you guys when you're first starting out, because these are companies that actually will give you someone to help you, or they'll actually charge you a transaction fee. And a lot of the different brokerages that I'm dealing with are no cost, right? So and let me show you them. I was talking about them and didn't show you them. Okay, so here are the firms I was talking about. So this is mine, Charles Schwab. You can use any of these others as well. And the reason they're here is because they're the top rated for user-friendly beginners, right? And they're also ones that have a no account minimum. They basically have no transaction fees, and they have the most important part, y'all, no inactivity fees. Because a lot of times, right, I'll leave my account on auto pay for months at a time. And I'll come back and I'll see the jump that happened in between, but I'll also see that I missed a few periods of a great jump if I would have been paying attention. But never let that bother you. because this is life. Things happen in life where sometimes life gets in the way, and you don't have every day to be on here worrying about what's going on with this stock, what's going on over here, what's going on with this index, what's going on. You don't have time for that. You come on here, you read, do what it is you like to do, however often you want to do it, and then go deal with your life, because this is nothing for you to lose your mind about. And we live, fortunately, in a time now where a lot of this stuff can be done for you robotically. Okay. I know you guys have heard me talk to you before about SoFi. SoFi is one of those robo investor apps you could use along with Acorn. I keep calling this shit Acorn like the singer. Acorn, right? Where you could set up your instructions on your app and your app could do it for you. M1 also does that as well. But okay, I wanted to show you these guys because you can open up a free account with them. And while I'm showing you that, I want you to know that in whatever brokerage you may choose, always type into Google to see if they have some type of what do they call that? Promotion, right? So when I did that before I started this video, I found out that Schwab did have a promotion. They wanted to I hope can y'all see this now? This one instead? Yeah, okay. So they wanted to try to get people to come in by giving a promotion of, if you open an account with them of $50, they would give you $50. All right. Where's the one? What happened to it? I clicked on the wrong one. Give me 1 second. Oh, here it is. So you're going to type in Google, right? What I typed in was Charles Schwab promotions for 2025. This came up. So you see here where it says new to investing, get $50 for the S&P 500 with the Schwab starter kit. Now, there really is no kit, okay? All you're going to do is open an account with $50. That's all it takes, y'all. That's all most of these accounts take is $50. Once you open it up, then they tell you what they're going to do. They tell you what's inside, right? Basically, with your $50, when you buy $50 worth of stocks, right, they're going to give you $50 back. Now, what you have to do is come on here and really read the conditions of the starter kit, because it will tell you when they will give you that $50. Now, I have never had a promotion from them, so I don't know how stuff like this works, but you could clearly see that this is typically how it works with any account, okay? You put your money in, they have investor education on the actual website, right? This is the weekend, so nothing is active right now on the websites, right? So Monday, you can go on to Charles Schwab's, right? Open an account or just go on there and try to see if you could tap into the investing education videos, because they have a lot of them. And they also have this section over here called tools and resources. They have a phone number for you to call and speak to people if you don't know what you're doing. However, they are by law not allowed to instruct you on what you're doing. But if you ask questions around what it is you'd like to do, they'll give you as much information as they can, because they're not legally allowed to instruct you on how to invest unless you're actually part of their system or service where you're paying for that. That's a different story. Okay. So I just wanted y'all to know that and get you familiarized with what the website looks like, because it's not too complicated. All right. And when you get here, when it comes to that $50 again, you can see you're going to click on these pluses and it's going to tell you what actually is going to happen. So they're claiming that once you set up that account, you give them $50. 2 business days after your account is opened, Schwab will begin checking for deposits, right? Once your qualifying deposit has been received, Schwab will credit the $50 to your account and place your trades the next trading day. So that means 3 days time after you open up your account. We'll send you an email the night before that happens so you'll know when to expect your stock slices and the ability to review your orders. Okay, so now that's telling you about the $50 they were supposed to give you, remember? All right. It says, can I cancel the stock orders? Once the orders are placed, oh well, you guys can read that on your own. That's not what I thought it was. I thought it was with the promotion. That's just regularly how, if you go for a trade and you no longer want it, there is a cancel process, and you can learn that when you begin. So it says, what if I don't want the $50 of fractional shares? If you don't want to place orders to buy fractional shares or receive the $50 cash bonus as described above, you may open a Schwab account independent of the Schwab Starter Kit offer by going to schwab.com. Right, and that's what most people do, because I never even knew they had this, right? So basically all I did was I went on to the regular Schwab website, opened up the account, right? Put my money in, and then I went through some of the videos. I set up my watch list. I actually look, when you open it up, you're going to see it's going to be like a dock. The same way the dock is on if you have a Mac computer, at the bottom, like all this information. When you open up your account, it's going to give you a summary of your account, how much money you have in it, the stocks or whatever it is that you've bought. If you have a Roth IRA, whatever, all that's going to be there as soon as you open up your account. It's going to be like right there, a summary of everything you have in that account. So that if you're doing a quick glance, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I need to set up automatic payments to my Roth IRA. Everything will show you, like, if the money got there, how much now is in it, how much it increased, etc. So that's pretty good. It's user friendly, y'all. Very user friendly. Okay, so I want to get rid of that. I want to basically show y'all a lot of this stuff as well. Okay, so back to finding out more of this stuff. So this one here, this is, you guys know I'm always on Forbes, Forbes.com, right? This online information of the former Forbes magazine that I know, I found a lot of information about how America intends to do dastardly things to Black American people. When I was reading on this website, this is where I found out where they plan to have us 50% destitute by 2030 and trying to make us completely destitute by 2050. And you know, I've been telling you guys that on this platform for a few years now, because I first heard of this in I think it was 2022, and I told you guys about this. So this is something to be aware of and to understand that even though platforms, we can have fun and play around and talk about things that are dear to us or emotional to us or even triggering to us, we also need to always talk about things that really impact us in a harmful way, the way they do impact us sometimes in America, okay? So with people plotting for us to be unemployed, underemployed, and having no resources, we need to begin to, push back against that in every personal way we can to make sure that doesn't happen to us. And I don't think there's anything more serious than that happening right now. Because if you're not able to make money, you're not able to work, take care of yourself, maintain a roof over your head, and take care of you and yours, what are you going to do? What are you going to do as an alternative? Okay? All right, so getting back to this. So on this website, this is also a place where you can find out, you didn't have to listen to me about going to NerdWallet and finding out who are the best online brokers and trading platforms, right? For 25, in this case is for 26. And again, I had spoke about SoFi before. This one is more so of an app, even though they have .com. And then you have Charles Schwab once again. And Charles Schwab has been around for a very long time, very reputable. So is Fidelity. Webull, I don't really care for them, but that's your personal choice to make. Interactive Brokers, I don't really care for them either, but that's your choice to make. E-Trade, I never messed with E-Trade because at one time E-Trade was charging people all types of crazy fees just to do transactions. And it was just recently when everybody else started doing the zero transaction option, they got on board very, very last. Okay. I have no idea what eToro is, y'all, but I will warn you to stay very clear from Robinhood. When I first started doing the investment apps, I started with Robinhood, and they literally went into my account and took $1,000 because my account had dropped, and they went into my personal account to replenish the investment account, and I could not get the money back. Okay. So I stopped messing with them as soon as they did that. And I didn't set that up. Okay. And I had problems with them with fees and other issues about fees. So I don't recommend Robinhood. If other people have a better time with it, maybe things have changed within the last 5 years, but I do not mess with this app at all. Merrill Edge, I have no idea how they work. So that would be something you would find out on your own, as well as this other one. So Go Trade, have no idea. TradeStation, nope. And back to the original ones. Okay. So it's just showing you, right, different places to go to get information, because with investing, you're going to find, right, there is not a one fit all, or just because somebody says do it this way, this is the way it works. That's not how this works. This whole thing works by knowing all of the different ways to get something done, being able to identify patterns that actually exist that you could learn within this process to help you make money, or just be the way we are as Black people, where we could literally look at stuff and see the natural pattern of something, figure out how the thing works, pay attention to what's making it positive, pay attention to what's making it negative, and zone into that. But there are actual strategies, there are actual different all types of informational tools on here that you can learn about investing, that you can apply to help you make money. Am I going to tell you it works for everybody? Absolutely not. This is why this is an ongoing, forever learning experience. But with Forbes, right, they will give you these little tabs up here. And as you see, it's like personal finance, right? And this is what they offer in terms of information to help you get to be more knowledgeable about some of the things you will encounter personally with your own money when you are trying to put your money into different investments or savings, or even different checking accounts. Okay. Everybody comes with this like income tax calculator. Do not get excited over this thing. This thing is projected for the future. It never takes into consideration if you have an emergency. Your money is not what it was last month. So this you can't really rely on unless nothing changes, and everything you put into these investments are exactly the same for the long haul. And there are plenty of people who could do this, and there are plenty of people who cannot. Okay. And it has nothing to do with how much you make versus how much you don't. It has everything to do with the fact that some people are just better at managing money than others. And it is a personal level of commitment, engagement, and what else can I say? And I guess how quick you learn it, and how much you learn, retain it, and apply it. And then it's the rest of the stuff here, which just gives you more information about money transfers, credit scores, how they affect you, debt relief, which is important, investing, the most important, retirement, and taxes. Okay. And I want you guys to know that as far as your age goes, high introverted, age is very important when it comes to investing. The older you are, the more beneficial investing will be to you. I know probably nobody has ever told you that before, but that is the realest shit out there. Every single state has their own parameters on how they will tax you on investment, right? So what I would that's the one thing I didn't add on here, but I'm gonna do it right now. I'm gonna go get the IRS for you so I can show you what I mean. IRS.gov, right? So let's share this tab now. So we go here and we're gonna go to investment taxes. All right, so when you put in investment, all of the possible situations that are the number one asked questions for the IRS comes up, but that's not what I'm interested in right now, right? So we're gonna put in taxes. Sorry, I hit the wrong key. All right. Okay. So now, when it comes to the taxes that you will have to deal with on your investment, I simply typed in investment taxes into the query box, right? And what I got back is a box of filters that literally says right here, general information about 476 results, right? I got about 200 results of news. News in the IRS is everything from any supplemental change to a tax law to the exceptions, the exemptions, credits, everything that has to do with it, right? So you want to read that. 42 forms and instructions and 96 results of about IRS related to investment taxes and so forth and so on, right? Then when you get down here, it's asking you, who do you want this information for? Individuals, charities and nonprofits, governments, businesses, tax professionals, software developers, news media, trusts, and estates. So you have all your information right here. And I want y'all to always know that whenever you have a question about the IRS, do not believe people or listen to the stereotypes of these guys are the boogeyman or they're out to get you. They give you all the information you need on the website. They also provide you with phone numbers to speak to people to get more information if you need it. And they actually have tax preparers that can help you as well if you need them. So utilize them if you have to and do whatever and get all the information you can so that you know what is available to you. At the very bottom, they have the agency and the different categories about the agency, everything from what they do to hiring to tax statistics, okay? Then it has a know your rights section where if you run into any problems with owing them any money, you have these people here. They're called a taxpayer advocate service where you could contact them to find out what is your best option. You have a taxpayer bill of rights above them. And then you have independent offices that you can appeal to that go all the way up to IRS tax court, where you will actually go before a tax judge and prove or argue, oh, no, Your Honor, this is not correct. The IRS made a mistake, and this is why I'm saying they made a mistake. Or, Your Honor, I tried to correct this error by doing whatever it is that you did, and you will explain it to the judge, and the judge will rule on it, just as if you went to criminal court, family court, or housing court, okay? That's the way that works. They also have a civil rights branch where if your rights are being violated in any way, you will reach out to them and they will do an investigation. They also have the different departments, like if you need to get information that you didn't think you have a right to know under the FOIL Act, they have that there as well, okay? And then they also have this. I'm going to put this up for y'all to understand what this is. This is the No Fear Act data. Let me see if they give us a definition. They do. Okay, so this is what I mean. So when it comes to the IRS, equal employment opportunity data posted pursuant to Title III of the Notification and Federal Employee Anti-Discrimination and Retaliation Act of 2002, No Fair Act, right? You come on here because this was put into law by, I think it was President Bush, right? And what this does is this allows you to challenge anything, okay, that an employee might do wrong on your W-2, your taxes, or if you are a employer yourself and you make a mistake on somebody else's taxes, that's there to help you work that out, okay? It's there to help you get the information you need to say, well, okay, well, according to this, I was supposed to be allowed time to appeal this or find out more about this particular thing over here so that I could amend this or change this or do it over or make a payment plan, whatever it is you got to do. That's what all of these know your rights sections are here for, so that you know that no matter what happens, there's a way to resolve it. And this is not the situation of people thinking that, oh, once you make a mistake with the IRS, that's it. You owe all this money and there's never any way of getting out of it. That's not true. Okay. There's also when you go to the Taxpayer Advocates Service, that when you speak to some of those people, they're actual attorneys that will work with you to help you fix your problems that do not work for the IRS. Like in my state of New York, we have a thing called legal services, right? And in many other states, they also provide free legal services. So when you contact these people or you request information from them, they will give you all of that information on their notices and their flyers, you know, their booklets and their forms to explain to you all your rights and all your options, and the people you can contact to help you as well if you don't have your own personal attorney. That's just to let you know, okay? Then you have over here resolve an issue, which is pretty much an extension of the know your rights area, and it's self-explanatory, okay? And then the second tab is languages that you could have your forms literally transcribed into, so that you can read them and be able to fill them out in your own language, okay? And then the last section is related sites that are more federal offices for you to go to get more information or even complain to if you have a problem with the IRS, okay? I just want you guys to know all of that. And don't forget that when you come onto the IRS, the most important thing to come on here for to get information is to read the guides, read the news and the notices, and frequently ask questions. The forms are the things that you have to fill out to get your work done. But when it comes to informing you to know what's happening, you really want to be involved with guides, the news, notices, and the frequently asked questions. Because most times you're not the only person on here asking those questions, okay? So I want to point that out so seriously. Okay, so was it something else? So we did the starter kit for $50, which you don't really need that if you don't want it. You could just go on and open up an account. I think the minimum for most of them is $50. A few of them might be $20, but we're at the end of the year, so I'm gonna honestly tell y'all it's probably gonna be $50. Or with some of the other traders, platforms, it might be like $50 to $100. It depends. But I know with Charles Schwab, it's $50, period. Okay. Then let's see. Oh, guys, when you're looking into learning more about this stuff, Motley Crue, I just want to point that out to you as well, is another form of information. Now, I have pulled this up about Charles Schwab's because Charles Schwab is who I deal with. So Motley Fool, I said Motley Crue, like the the rock group. Did y'all see how out of it I am? Not Motley Crue, y'all. Sorry for that. Motley Fool Money. This is a information site for you to further get information. You can also do what I do, which is I have an actual app on my phone that I have for Yahoo. It's Yahoo Finance, right? So everything that happens that day, I get the information at a glance. I set up a watch list on there for particular S&P 500 ETFs I'm interested in. And so when I see them at a ridiculous price, I just go, yeah, I'm not buying that today. And I keep up with it because they will come down eventually, right? And when they do come down, that's when I try to stock up on them as much as I can, because they're going to go back up as well. And the other thing that you can do is when you come on these websites where it's basically giving you information about the brokerages, what are the best stocks according to them, but the best stocks according to them are not always the best stocks according to you. So when you come on, you learn, you understand what they're talking about. When you hear the conversations in passing, when you turn on the news and you're listening to what has happened for the day, when you get to that point where you understand what these people are saying just by listening to them, you know that you have consumed enough of this information now to be a really good judge of what it is you would like to do with your account, not what somebody else is doing and what they're telling you what you want to do. And always keep that in mind, because you really need to know that this is a game made for super rich people to get rich off of all the time. And the more money you put into this shit, the more money you get out. This is not like the lotto where you pay $1 or $5 and you could become a billionaire. No. If you put in, let me tell you what I do, right? So I have a traditional IRA Roth account with Charles Schwab, right, for my retirement. So every month, right, I go out of my way to put $450 in that account every month without fail. Y'all hear me? You don't have to do $450. You could do $50. You could do $150. You could do $250. You could do whatever your pocket allows you. But the more money you put in there per month, right, for that year and every other year towards your retirement, the more money you will have when you go to retire. If I'm putting $450 and I'm trying to get it to the point where I could get over $500, I don't even care if it's $501, right? If I could get it over $500, I am literally working my way towards at least $1 million towards retirement. And I want y'all to understand that that is very attainable. You hear me? Very fucking attainable. And as long as you are in this shit for the long term and not for the short term, because short term is a totally different story, right? I'm talking about long term. I'm thinking about when I'm older and I'm getting up there where I can't work anymore, or I'm not working anymore. I need to have money that I can live off of that I may not have worked for. You get what I mean? So when you do that alone, your money will grow exponentially on its own, just because of the fact that you're putting a decent amount in every single month, and it will work for you. Okay. Later on, I'll do a few videos after we talk about the beginning of this a little bit more about, you know, other ways to make money and have your money make money for you. Okay. So this is just the beginning. So I really would appreciate it if you guys, the way everybody talks about going into the new year with all of these New Year's Eve resolutions, right? Or everything you're going to do new, start to invest in yourself first this year, okay? For 2026. Even if you cannot right away put up the $50 to one of these broker traders, right? Open up a high yield checkings account. Let me show you one that I belong to, and I'll just also see if I can get a few of them. Okay, so All right. So we gotta now. I don't mess with Capital One at all, y'all. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I don't never mess with them. I don't give a damn what they're offering. I do not mess with them. So I don't like that search. I'm gonna do another one. Let me see. The one that I have, let me see my and see if it's any others like it. Let me see. And others. Let's see, others like it. Let's see what it says. All right. So here we go. So and this is, and remember these websites because I'm gonna put them up for y'all. So Consumer Voice is saying these are the 25 best high yield savings account. But remember, in addition to savings accounts, they have high yield checking accounts. And what makes one savings or checking account better than the other is the percentage they're going to give you on your money. So the one giving you the most percentage that you could get into, that's the best one as far as I'm concerned. Okay? All right. And then underneath Consumer Voice, you have Best Money, which is another place to teach you about money, savings, bank accounts, etc. They're saying that they have the 10 best savings accounts. Let's see, best rates up to 4.46 APY, right? All that kind of stuff is important. With zero account fees and no minimum deposit. So that is something you should be looking for when you are looking at these high yield savings account and high yield checking account. Okay. And again, you have Forbes giving their review on My Savings Direct, which is another one. Then they are also giving their opinion on banking, direct CD rates, dollar savings. All of this stuff you need to get familiar with. So this is why I said this investment game takes a while for you to literally get into reading this stuff all the time, right? Learning what it is they're talking about so that when you hear them speaking about something, oh yeah, they're talking about such and such. And you listen to hear what they're saying. But if it's something you don't understand or something they spoke about you didn't quite get, write it down. Google is free. We have AI as well that can go even deeper. Utilize these options to further learn, okay? And once you do that, you're totally good. You're totally good. And you're never going to be perfect because that's not life, but you're going to be able to put your money somewhere, watch it grow. And if it's not doing exactly what you want it to do, you will have enough information to go, okay, so I'm going to stop doing this and I'm going to do something else. And that's the whole point of this. Okay, y'all? Literally, it is a learn as you go along. And the more you learn, the more you will make. And I'm going to use this opportunity now to add in one more thing that I have forgotten about before, which would be I'm going to put in free investment courses. Free investment. Sorry, I mistyped. Investment courses, right? At Ivy League. Ivy. Oh, PWI, right? Can we put it that way too? And it come. Let me see. Let me see if any of them came up. All right, I gotta change my search. Okay, at let's say like Yale or Harvard and others. Let's put it like that. Let's see what comes up now. All right, so you got a few of them, right? Let me just look at this before I share it. There we go. Yep. Okay, so share this tab. All right. So I typed in free investment courses at Yale or Harvard and others, right? So they gave me Harvard, and Harvard is pretty good, y'all. They have all types of stuff on there for free. you might want to go on there right now. I think I had told you guys I'm actually taking a computer programming course with them called CS50. It's 100% free, but if you do want to get the certificate from this university, you will have to pay a couple of $100, and once you complete the course, they will send you the certification from that school. When you add that to your resume portfolio, either online, in your phone, or physically in your resume folder, it is very impressive. Also, remember, y'all, that you can go onto these PWIs, right, and learn AI for free. You can learn all of that stuff that I hear people talking about on the internet, cyber security, and etc., etc. Go onto these schools, and let me show you how it's done. Well, let me scroll down first, and then I'll show you. Hold on. So this is showing you the free courses that they have, right? That I put in about. This is that course that I was telling you I take right here. CS50 is an introduction to computer science for Harvard University. I'm actually taking that right now on my own. All right. Now you'll see underneath it, it has investing courses, Harvard University. So down here, they're telling you that they have alternative investments, right? And this is part of their Harvard Business School. You could do these things online, but you have to read and find out which ones are free. But you can take the paid course if you want. You can do that as well. They will allow you to do that. These people are trying to make money. They don't care, okay? But if you want to do that, you can. I'm not going to do that, but if you want to, you can. Then right underneath it, it has US news and 8 free investment classes and resources for adults. Hit that link, see what they're talking about. And there are also some videos here on YouTube to talk to you about courses for beginners. Now, be mindful with all these people on YouTube, TikTok, and etc., right? What? Hold on. What are they talking about? Hold on 1 minute. Sorry, guys, I'm back. They had told me, I don't know if it was true, but they had told me that my browser had lost connection with StreamYard, so that's why I had hit the refresh. I don't know if that was actually true or not, but I did hit it. Okay. So where was I? I was showing you guys all right, so let me see if I could show you where was I? Where is it at? Oh, when I went out, it took me out of it. No, it's right here. Okay, so I can go back to it. All right, let me share the screen for this one. StreamYard has not changed, man. It is always has so many connection issues, and it's just ridiculous from time to time. And I don't know why. It shouldn't be like that. So, okay. So where was I at with the other investments? Nope. It did kick me out of the last one. So where was the one I had about investments? It just took it all out. Okay. All right, StreamYard. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate you derailing me. StreamYard is ridiculous. All right. So here it says free investment courses, Yale and others, read more. That's the same thing we had seen before. The very same thing. But here, let's see if the investing. Let's see if they have any free ones. Investing. Let's see. All right. So 85 came up. Let's see what they have. So it didn't let me type in free investment. So I just put in free and it gave me back 85 hits. We'll see if it's here. If it's not here, no problem. There are a whole bunch of other schools that will give it to you. You don't have to get it from here. And I don't think it is. Let's see. Let's see. Nope, it's not here. So we don't stress ourselves with that. We just keep moving forward, all right? Apologize for the issues with the connection. Everybody knows StreamYard does that from time to time, but I'm gonna go now. I'll be back more, but I just wanted to show you guys that and let you know that in these hard times of where we're literally as Black women being targeted by this administration to lose our jobs and be the first ones fired and last ones hired, we need to start thinking about any way we can secure monies for our future, because we always have to remember that they have promised that they want to see us by 2030 50% destitute, and by 2050 100% destitute as a totality for American Black people in America. Now, we all know that that's not going to be true for all people, because there are a lot of well-to-do Black Americans in this country, but there are more working and working poor Black Americans. So we want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to try to prepare for tomorrow, 2030 and 2050, because none of us need to be destitute at any time. Okay. I'm going to end this video by saying, please continue to be civically responsible. If you don't know anything about how elections run, don't hesitate to put that question into Google or AI. Find out when and where your next election will be. Make sure that you vote. Okay. Please stop listening to Black women and men on these apps trying to poison your mind and fear tactic you, even Umar, against Democrats, because it does not take a genius to realize that conservatives and Republicans are the reason we're in this condition we're in currently in America. And if you are a Black woman or a woman, period, you should be interested in getting back the rights that were taken away from you, gaining more rights, and continuing to keep them for not just your lifetime, but for all the women who are behind you. Okay. I don't know if you guys have noticed or not, but every time you turn around, this administration is coming up with a new rule or law to take more women's rights away. You have your last opportunity in November of 2026 to vote out as many Republicans and conservatives and even them fucked up liberals who pretend not to be as racist as they are out of office, and replace them with Democrats who are going to vote for women's rights, children's rights, everybody else's rights, and most importantly, to put back all of the things that were taken away to stop the American people from making a living, being able to buy their own home, have an automobile if they choose, and money in the bank. That's the most important thing. This goes beyond religion. This goes beyond people being misogynistic if they're men, women, with internalized misogyny, or American people worrying about the situation happening in another country that we have no way of having any control over that. Worry about what goes on here first, get it right, so that you can put the people in place to fight any other cause that you need to be addressed. You ever heard that phrase, that saying, take care of home first before you try to tackle the world? That's what we must do in November of 2026, or we risk losing all of our freedoms in America. You guys, even though things calm down a little bit, you cannot keep your head in the sand. You need to use this internet to realize that there are still very dire things going on in this world and in our own country that this administration is hiding from us. Did you guys know right now that in Maryland, they actually have levees like Louisiana, and Maryland has been flooded, and they're assuming that just the way the levees were broken in Katrina, they will break in Maryland as well. And they're not sharing that with you. They are also not sharing with you what is going on in Washington, D.C., with the Black people that live in D.C. and everywhere else. So it's your job to get on this internet and search out the people who are putting that information onto the internet for you to expose the situation for everyone else, since the news is no longer doing its job. Okay? Pay attention. There are more things going on than relationships and arguing back and forth about Black males, Black women. It is important for you to understand that right now the epidemic of Black femicide and child homicide while you are living in homes with Black males is once again skyrocketing. And this is a result of the fact that women do not have all the rights they used to have in certain states in this country. So these males are taking advantage, and they are brutalizing women in the homes under domestic violence. And when the police come, not much is happening, and those women are ending up losing their lives. Pay attention to what is happening around you in this country. And when it is your turn or your chance to try to get a lot of these people out of office who are putting these insane laws and situations into rotation, get them the fuck out. And stop listening to people talking about Democrats and Republicans are two wings on the same bird. That is not true. And even if it was, you know the saying, the lesser of two evils? You have a Republican Party and a conservative party that literally wants to take you back to slavery. Do not be complicit in that. And I literally mean that. I don't know how many of you know that right now there are 2 cases in the Supreme Court that are going to be ruled on later in 2026. One about Black people's continued right to vote, which is coming out of Louisiana, concerning our right to vote. Okay? And there's also another lawsuit that is going to be ruled on later in 2026 concerning Black people's citizenship. Okay? All of that's happening at the same time. And when I say citizenship, meaning like they already ruled on the part where they can discriminate openly against Hispanics. And we've seen that. And we've seen that against other people. But now they want to talk about the part that says Black people have a right to racial political representation in the government, meaning they're going to decide whether or not you will be able to vote in the future for Black representatives. This is why you take your voting responsibility seriously. They already started it in Texas, which is why Jasmine Crockett no longer has a congressman's district, because they redistrict her out. So now she's running for Senate in November of 26 so she could fight for the Black people of Texas. Do not let her down. In particular, Black people of Texas, Harris County, make sure every single one of you goes out and votes for her, because you alone can carry that state by yourself. Black people are the highest populated in this country in Texas. If only Black people went out to vote for a single candidate, they would win every single time because their numbers outnumber everyone else in that state. Black people of Texas have the actual ability to turn that state from Republican to Democratic. You need to do it, okay? You need to do it to save Black women's lives so that we do not have any more Adriana Smiths being experimented on in hospitals, or Black women dying in the parking lot from not being able to get a DNC from having a miscarriage or a needed abortion. Or, I forget the young lady's name, but the 22-year-old girl who's literally sitting in prison right now because she had a natural miscarriage but was arrested and sent to prison because she too lived in Texas. This is what you're fighting for when you go to vote in November. It is to get rid of these old laws of white racist men who want to control women's bodies. And we already know that when they do these things, Black women are hurt the most because we were the ones that they experimented on back then and that they experiment on today. Let Adriana Smith burn in your mind. That woman had no rights over her own body and the torture they put her and her child through. And they took away her mother and her people's right to defend her. Remember these things. Also remember all of the Black men who are not speaking up for Black women's rights. Remember the Black men who are in political office who voted against Black American reparations. And just to let you know about that one particular governor, right? The Black caucus in that state overrode his veto. So just because he said no, they're looking into it anyway. These are the things that you need to think about. And if you don't know, instead of worrying about a live on TikTok or YouTube that's making fun of Black men and making you laugh, or we're listening to Cynthia G tell us the 1,000th time about white women and Black men, take a moment and go learn something else that really will impact your real life every day of the rest of your life, and be prepared to deal with that challenge come the fucking midterms, because too many of us are on these apps playing and sleeping. All right. And we don't need to be doing that. And do not take for granted or forget that every video, even me telling you this now, people are listening to us, plotting against our every move. So sit at home with your people, talk in private about how you will vote in the midterms. Make sure your names are still on the registration rolls. Start making your plans now to get everybody to the polls. Do not leave anyone behind. You understand? Literally, come this November, all Americans will be fighting for their life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. If you fail to go to the polls, or if women, the way they did in the last election, vote with men, and women lose all of their rights, and we no longer are allowed to go to school, have education, buy our own homes, have our bank accounts and money the way we have it now, this country is going to see a very dark day. Because there are many women like me who are not going to be under anybody's foot or be forced to live in any man's home and deal with shit I don't want to deal with. So before America goes straight into fucking anarchy, do what you need to do to make sure liberty, justice, and real democracy in this country continues by voting out these Republicans and conservatives and having a huge Democratic fucking flash flood of wins so we could get rid of all of this nonsense they're doing and get back DEI, affirmative action, Roe versus Wade, the jobs of all of those people who lost them from the federal government. Those people are suffering right now, and no one is thinking about them because it is not us. When you go into that booth in November, remember the people whose jobs were lost just simply because the president or whomever did not like the fact that they were Black, possibly a woman, and had a job that gave them a comfortable life. Go vote against that type of tyranny. Put back democracy in this country to the point where people are able to be self-sustaining and women are not legally held inferior to men in a country that depends on women to survive. Do not do that, y'all. And that's the end of my live for today before I get way too political. But I need Black women and women of color who should have learned their lessons by now. You cannot assimilate your way into white supremacy. They do not want you. They will not allow you. When it is time to vote in November, put back the Democrats, get rid of all the Republicans, get rid of all of the conservatives. These people want America to go back to the antebellum South. This is what they're fighting for. And they're trying to win those 2 cases in court to make that literally happen. Black people, I don't know if you know, but every 20 years, they have to sign off on our right to vote. They're trying to take that away, okay? They're also trying to take away our right to be free. Understand that. Let that really sink in, okay? I don't care about segregation. That don't scare me. Somebody telling me that I cannot vote in a country where I'm going to be subject to some racist white man's rules that he makes upon me is very scary. Somebody telling me that my ability to be free in a country that my ancestors originate from, before Europeans came to this country, they found Black Indians here, people who look like you and me, who are you and me. And then you tell me that because of a Supreme Court justices, they decide that I don't have a right to be human and take my right away from me to the point where now I am once again property. That is what you have to understand going into the midterms of 2026. This is what you are up against. Do not concern yourself with Gaza and the rest of this. Concern yourself with your rights right here in America before you lose them. These people are not playing. They are fully trying to complete their Project 2025 agenda at any cost. So you must go into that booth in November of 2026 the same way many states did a few months ago and got out a lot of Republicans and get the rest of them out so that this country could turn itself back around and make proper changes to be better for the future. Otherwise, we're going to be fighting all over again from I guess just before the Civil War to now, right? You have to realize that when they're rolling back our rights, they're rolling back our accomplishments and our progress in this country. You cannot let them do that willingly. You cannot sit at home and let people take away your rights. You have to go to the poll and vote them out of office, period. Have a good night. Please think about the things I've said tonight. Good night.